Hello and welcome back to ParticularPixels. I'm Xiaoling and I just want to let you all know about a game that I'm incredibly excited about and I think is worth keeping an eye on. The name of the game is Absolver and it comes out on the 29th of this month on Steam. Now for those of you who don't know, Absolver is an online melee combat game with both PvP and PvE elements. You get to level up your character, improve your stats, you find new gear, you learn new moves, you learn new styles, and you even get to customize your own combos while you explore a somewhat small but open online world. You get to face up against the AI, solo or co-op, or even against other players. There's a 1v1 arena, and I believe they're going to be adding a 3v3 arena into the game at a later stage. The game is going to be PvP focused toward the end game as far as I can tell, but the fighting system is what really intrigues me. It looks like it offers a great deal of depth and has the potential to be a very deep and rewarding fighting experience if that is what you are looking for. Now, I've been pretty excited about this game since it was first announced in May of 2016 and have been following its development ever since. So as I said, I'm incredibly excited that it's going to be coming out in just a few days. So I studied martial arts traditionally under a grandmaster and I've been teaching martial arts now for over 20 years. So this game system's all based around real world martial arts and the developers themselves have at some point or other been involved in martial arts and it actually shows in the animations and things like that. And so I suppose for obvious reasons this game has captured my attention and you know apparently doing martial arts in real life is not enough for me. I have to also do martial arts in video games. Anyways, I was hoping to review the game, but at the moment it doesn't look like I'll be able to get review codes for the game since my channel is still pretty small and I believe it doesn't meet the size requirements. So I'll only be able to get my hands on the game when it launches on the 29th. And hopefully sometime after that I'll be able to bring you guys a more in-depth video and impressions of the game. If the game is everything it turns out to be, or everything at least that I'm hoping that it's going to be, I'll very likely be making some tips and tricks videos as well as various guides for the game because I can see myself putting a lot of time into Absolver. So what I've decided to do for the rest of the video is just edit together some of the various trailers for the game that cover the different systems in the game to give you a good idea of what to expect from Absolver. I think it'll probably do a better job than I can of explaining all the systems at this point. Anyways guys, if you have any questions or comments as usual, you can just leave them in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already seen these trailers guys, I highly recommend that you watch the rest of the video. This is definitely a game worth keeping your eye on, especially if you like fighting games. Anyway guys, I think that's pretty much it. I've been Xiaoling and I'll see you next time.
All those who wish to join the Absolvers must first reach Tower Point, the remote location in the north where the guides are based. These prospects come from all manners of cultures and customs, and although they have taken the vow, they know little about the consequences of wearing the mask. Some prospects arrive to Tower Point wearing clothes from their regions of origins, and are allowed to keep them. Others arrive in rags, without even having carved a mask for themselves. To these, plain clothes are given, as well as a basic apprentice mask to be enchanted in the folding ceremony. Some are hidden in Talem's Khans. Some will be left behind after a defeated lost prospect unfolds, while others will be obtained through victory in combat trials. Each item has a specific weight and defensive parameters that warriors must take into account. Heavier equipment will be more protective, but will also slow down the player. Some attacks will also be more efficient if they are performed with light gear equipped. With thousands of possible combinations, prospects will be able to choose the equipment that fits both their preferred playstyle and their aesthetic of choice. Combat is your art, and mastering the medium is essential to becoming an Absolver. Upon arriving in Adal, all prospects have a core combat style and an initial combat deck. On their path to absolution, prospects will learn new possibilities and mix them to create their own unique method of fighting. One of 3 combat styles are chosen at the beginning of your journey, but other styles exist in the world of Absolver. Each combat style improves specific character attributes and comes with its own unique special ability. balanced, and powerful. With the Forsaken style, prospects can parry enemy attacks, briefly stunning their opponent. Strong and resistant, practitioners of the Cult method can absorb hits without being stunned or pushed back, and regain lost health if the counterattack is successful. The students of the WINDFALL combat style will have greater dexterity and will. They can avoid enemy attacks, leaving the enemies open to a powerful counter. The combat deck is the list of attacks that a prospect can use when fighting. These attacks are divided between 4 different stances, which represent the prospect's orientation relative to their target. In each stance, different attacks are available. Some attacks will naturally flow from one stance to another. Other attacks will stay in the same stance. Regardless, each move will always chain fluidly with one another, effortlessly shifting from stance to stance without interruption. The combat deck is fully customizable, allowing one to define their way of fighting and become unpredictable. In each of the 4 stances, prospects will choose a sequence of attacks and an alternative attack. Alternative attacks can be used at any time to break a sequence and bring the prospect in another stance. Both sequences and alternative attacks can be chained fluidly without interruption. To give more possibilities, new attacks can be unlocked by fighting against any kind of opponent, from the newest prospect to the strongest Absolver. Besides this, prospects can learn other combat styles by choosing a mentor and staying loyal to him or her. Prospects can choose mentors as they meet in the world. Through their loyalty, prospects can learn additional combat styles and use their mentor's combat deck. Steel yourself, dear prospect. Combat instincts may come natural, but refining your combat style and combat deck is key to both basic survival and victory in the lost lands of Adal. Mastery over your combat deck is crucial in Absolver, but that alone will not lead to triumph in combat. Using powers and weapons judiciously is critical to defeat your opponents. Tension shards. Originally created for the Imperial Guard of the Adal Empire, these essence-infused crystals absorb tension, the unseen energy generated during combat. Once filled, the energy stored in these tension shards can be used to unleash powers or unfold weapons. The energy within the tension shards can be channeled with devastating results. Prospects and Absolvers can learn new powers and carefully choose which to equip as they head into battle. A variety of different powers exist, ranging from healing damage taken mid-battle to draining your opponent's stamina. Tension shards can also be used to quickly unfold a weapon in the heat of combat. Unfolding a weapon in combat changes your combat deck, making it harder for your opponent to anticipate your movements. Weapon attacks inflict more damage than bare hands, while also adding in cut damages, which chip away your opponent's health, even while they are in a defensive guard. Take heed. Weapons can break if used for too long, and warriors can be disarmed by a flurry of targeted blows. When a fighter is disarmed, their opponents are able to pick up the weapon and use it against them. The ruins of the Adal Empire can quickly become an unforgiving battleground for the unprepared prospect. Absolution is both a path to be walked alone and a journey to be experienced alongside other prospects. Along the way, you will undoubtedly encounter others wandering the plane of Adal, from lost prospects who have been corrupted by folding and will attack on sight, to other warriors, like yourself, on a journey of self-improvement and enlightenment in the art of combat. While the more aggressive prospects may find themselves wanting to battle with everyone they meet, there is often strength in numbers when fighting for survival in Absolver. Players may choose to band together in cooperative play, with up to 3 prospects linked together in an effort to dominate those that oppose them and strike down the marked ones that stand between them and absolution. Train, spar, and share the burden as a team is one of the best ways to experience the world of Absolver. More experienced and battle-hardened warriors will be able to take other prospects under their wing as students, becoming a mentor to those that choose to follow and learn from them. While studying under a mentor, students may use the combat deck of their master, gaining temporary access to their master's moveset, even if it features attacks they haven't learned yet. Other awards will be unlocked as students progress in the ranks of their chosen school. Adventure and exploration is but one part of a prospect's journey to absolution. Access through the altars scattered in the world, combat trials pit you against a random challenger, or a familiar combatant from your roster of friends. These 1 versus 1 matches are more formal in nature. You will have to strike your opponent down 3 times to be declared the victor. Under the close watch of the guides, the combat trials will evolve over time, and new challenges will be introduced regularly. Ranked matches and tournaments can be expected in the future, as well as new combat trials, pitching teams of 3 warriors against each other. Adaptability will be key to progress amongst the ranks of Absolver.